fans in the Cowboys bench, not doing much cheering right now, almost like they were frozen in place. All those pretty girls watching along with everybody else to see how the big game would come out. Sarah Rayburn, the only freshman on the squad, she was that pretty. Looking so scared and so nervous, you were afraid she might be about to cry, even with that cheerleader smile of hers locked in place. Wyatt went right back to Calvin on the next play. Fort Carson's pass rush made Wyatt work this time, flushing him out of the pocket, same kind of pressure they'd been putting on him all day. But Wyatt bought himself just enough time, scrambling to his right. Wyatt was as accurate on the run with that arm as if he had all day in the pocket and hit Calvin in stride at midfield. Clock running. Wyatt hurried everybody up to the new line of scrimmage, going with the second play he'd called in the huddle, a right sideline route to his tight end, Roy Gilly. Another strike. Roy shoved out of bounds by their strong safety. 1 minute, 1 second left. Next came the play they'd talk about for a long time in Granger, and the ice cream parlors and barbecue joints where they all grew up, where the only thing they talked about all week in those places, and on the town's lone radio station, was last week's game. Wyatt Cullen, number 10, in that cowboy blue that matched the blue of the Dallas Cowboys, surrounded this time, huge pressure now. One of the defensive linemen, with a handful of blue jersey, trying to fight off a blocker and pull Wyatt down with his free hand. The action actually seemed to stop in that moment, everybody saying afterward that they were sure Wyatt was getting sacked. Guys on both teams saying they kept waiting for the ref to blow his whistle. But he didn't, because Wyatt wasn't about to go down. Instead, he stumbled as he somehow freed himself of the guy's grasp and left the pocket, pulling free, getting free, running for his life to his left. Half the Fort Carson defense still coming for him. But Wyatt wasn't looking behind him. He was looking down the field. Having bought himself just enough time to do that, Wyatt was able to fling the ball while running, barely taking long enough to plant his right foot, heaving it half sidearm as far as he could in the direction of Calvin Morton, letting it rip even though Calvin was double covered by a corner and a safety. Wyatt told everybody later that he'd overcooked the sucker on purpose. That's why it looked like an overthrow as it started to fall out of the sky. Wyatt wanting Calvin to be the only one with a chance to go up and get it. And there was Calvin, going up for that pass like this was the way he'd drawn it up in his dreams. The safety and the corner could both jump pretty good, yet not like Calvin Morton, who went up and outfought both of them, bobbling the ball just slightly, somehow pinning it to the front of his right shoulder pad with his huge mitt of a left hand, landing hard on his back, helmet going sideways as he did, somehow maintaining control of the ball. Now, there was Wyatt racing down the field, maybe as fast as he'd ever moved on a football field, waving his teammates to run with him, not wanting to burn that last time out in his pocket, wanting everybody lined up as soon as the ref started the clock again, having stopped it because of the first down. He spiked the ball as soon as it was snapped to him. 28 seconds left. Ball on the Fort Carson 17. Wyatt figured he had all the time he needed, even if they didn't make another first down, that he could make 4 throws to the end zone easy if he had to. But he needed only one. Needed only one because Calvin made this sweet, tight inside move on the corner, like he was going to run a post. Then just flat froze the guy and the safety giving inside help when he made an even better cut at full speed toward the left corner of the end zone. Wyatt's pass, dead spiral, hit those big hands as softly as your head hitting your pillow, and it was 22-20 Granger. Now, it had become the high school moment. In Texas or anywhere else, they had all really dreamed about their whole lives, going ahead in the last seconds of the big game like this. Couldn't tell it by watching Wyatt Cullen, though. He was the coolest guy in Boone Stadium, pointing up to where his parents and his kid brother were, all of them losing their minds the way everybody around them was. There was Sarah, the close-up of her face they'd used not only in the TV highlights, but also in the Granger Dispatch, looking about as happy as a high school girl ever could, eyes on Wyatt. There was old Coach John McCoy, his Granger jacket halfway zipped the way it always was, no matter how hot the Texas weather was, showing you the white shirt and the tie he always wore, had worn since he coached Troy Cullen in games like these. Coach getting some love from the TV cameras his own self, as they like to say in Texas, calmly holding up one finger, not saying the Cowboys were already number 1.